Now, as far as AEW, Collision and Rampage, whatever, just tons of matches. I'm not going to talk about that shit. What I'm going to talk about, though, is AEW Dynamite was from the North Charleston Coliseum in North Charleston, South Carolina. So I think that's Flair country, right? They kicked things off with Christian Cage with Nick Wayne and Killswitch, whatever, took on Dustin Rhodes on this Dynamite. And it was a phenomenal match. Dustin Rhodes is still great. He's still making people look like $1 million fucking dollars. Christian Cage is still great. These guys had the most WWE match ever, bar a Canadian Destroyer. I don't know if Dustin's on his way out the door. Like, Tony kind of just does that, right? Like, when people are about to go, he just books them a few times, which is good. And then he just lets them go. I've been saying for a while, I'm pretty sure Goldust is going to be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame if everything goes according to plan. And I think Bischoff and Conrad Thompson have kind of also alluded to that. And I believe The Undertaker's also alluded to that on everyone's respective podcasts. I've alluded to it on mine. I think there's a reason for that. We'll just leave it at that. And so anyways, though, Dustin's been doing great work. He makes people look like $1 million. Christian Cage beats him. 2 WWE legends. There you go. So that was a great piece of business. And then Swerve's backstage. He cuts a good promo. And then Chris Jericho's backstage. They piped in cheers, pardon me. They're piping in cheers during his segments. I don't know. That whole thing's a mess. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm not going to talk about it. And they're calling him the Ocho again and stuff. So what? Are they just going to put him in Ring of Honor? So he's not on fucking TV or what? Like, what's going on? Like, that would be smart. That'd be smart if I'm them, but I don't know, man. That whole thing, I just don't want to even talk about it more. We had an international champion, Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta. They had a tag match with Commander and garbage. Hangman Adam Page backstage, garbage. Mark Briscoe, he honors Jay Briscoe. Shout out Jay Briscoe. Cuts a great promo. Very emotional. The Briscoe girls are there. They said the one couldn't walk. She's on the stage walking. Yeah. Shout them out, man. Beautiful. So that was a great piece of business as well. So we started the show with a great piece of business with Edge and Dustin. We had a great piece of business with the Mark Briscoe segment. Then we had the sit down with the Young Bucks. Who gives? So they start ripping a promo on CM Punk. It's just like, man, so what was they're cutting the same promos. They're the same characters. They're doing another sit down. Remember when they had a sit down the last time they had to do their thing? Why don't they just not talk and just be dicks and go, I'm not sitting down with you. I'm the boss or whatever. But they're talking about bringing in ex superstars and all the things. You guys taking shots and being mad about the ex superstars is why you're in this mess in the first place, Young Bucks. It's why you're in this mess in the first place. Fucking ridiculous. So makes me smoke. Then we had an ROH World 6-Man Championship match. The Mogul Embassy took on Bullet Club Gold and they just won the titles. Okay. And then now matches like whatever. It's a solid match, but who cares? There's all this shit going on. And then so now Jay White's Ring of Honor, and then they fuse with the 6-man tags of AEW. So there's 6-man ROH tag champs and the 6-man AEW tag champs. Instead of operating their divisions and building out their division, let's unify and make a 6-man team and do what, a 12-man tag against some guys for not our belts that we just won. What the fuck? Doesn't make any sense. These guys are you have 3 monsters in the Mogul Embassy and they're just glorified jobbers. It's just bullshit, man. This is just awful fucking booking. And then there's no division building. You got Ring of Honor, Jay White's Ring of Honor. This is garbage. Trash. So then the Undisputed Kingdoms, Adam Cole and Wardlow are backstage. Cole's going, Wardlow hasn't even scratched the surface of what he could do. He's going to win the AEW championship and all this shit. Wardlow didn't need any of you guys to do that. He understood he could do this on his own when he squashed MJF and did his own thing. That was the whole point of that story. So you just undermine that whole thing you did with MJF, which was good business back then, where he got squashed by fucking Wardlow. They don't get it. They just step on their own dicks. Then you have Purrazzo versus Anna Jay, and I had people in the comments going, look, Mercedes is going to walk out after the Purrazzo match. She's gonna just walk out, debut. It's good every week. Watch, she's gonna debut. Everyone's saying it. No, Purrazzo wins her match against Anna Jay, even though Anna Jay cut a promo going, this year it's gonna be my year. Like I've said this a few times, but I need to start this year off right. She's doing jobs for the new show's awful. It's an awful television show. It's an awful pro wrestling program. Matches are great. They're great. Awful program. So then we had Dante Martin. We had Top Flight versus Private Party. Whatever. Good match. Lots of flips. Private Party's back. Sting and Darby Allin in a video package. Good for them. Shout out Sting. He's going to be done soon. I truly believe he's going to go back to WWE after this AEW run and do one last match in WWE. I truly believe that. I think Ric Flair goes back there too, to be with his daughter, and Andrade, he'll go when Sting goes. That's my prediction. Main event time though. Another great piece of business. Now, people are going to say, but Phil, he did a 1 count in the Muscle Buster. True. That was ass. That was completely unfounded, and Hook does need to work on his selling. What worked here though was that Samoa Joe just went out there and beat the fucking fuck out of Hook for 13 minutes. He just beat the ever-loving Christ out of Hook for 13 minutes. And that's what you do. That's how... Now, the kicking out of the one at one and doing the Hulk up spot, man, that was really bad. I'm not going to sit here and act like that was good or that got anybody over more. All it did was bury Joe's move a little bit, to be honest. Not even a little bit, like a lot. And especially that's because that's one of the best and most devastating maneuvers in pro wrestling, if you will. But I think I tweeted something. I just said, I should have bookmarked it, but basically I said at Pro Wrestle Times on X, guys, check us out there. But I said, like a match with a storyline. I think because the ratings came out. Sorry, I'm just flipping through X here trying to find it. No, I can't find it, guys. Sorry. But basically, I just tweeted out like, a storyline with something compelling like is greater than a match with a false finishes and a Hulk up spot or something. I said like it just does more to get someone over, basically. But yeah, so Joe just murdered Hook, and I thought this was a great piece of business. I honestly did, because he just crushed him. Hook sold his ass off, even though he could have sold more, especially after that muscle. They should have just ended with the Muscle Buster. That's what's crazy. But yeah, he kicks out at one, starts doing some shit, and then gets choked out. I'm talking Hook got like 3 moves in the whole match. And like, I'm talking Joe killed this kid. Like, he suplexed him onto the fucking announce table, and kid landed neck first and everything. And I don't usually pop for that, but it was... like, they were safe about it, but it looked devastating, Like, Joe knows what he's doing in there. And he's just way bigger than him, so he just tossed him around. And yeah, I don't know, dude. I do feel like Hook was elevated from this match. It made me go, shit, dude. Like, I want to see him come back and fight a motherfucker, Differing opinions from other people. I know a lot of people might be like, nah, that was shit. Tell me in the comment. I don't care, right? Like, if we have different opinions on that, that is what it is. But I feel like it just made Joe look the way Joe should look, other than his one move. Like, yes, his one move should not have been kicked out of, especially because, damn, he's finished so many people with it in AEW, and in WWE, all over the world, he's finished people with it. But yeah, just comparing the 2 title matches, I would give it, me personally, I think the Joe Hook match was more, it was just better. I think the story of it, because, like, dude, Rollins, like, he doesn't sell shit. He kicks out of everything. It's every Rollins match is the exact same, I've called it out before on the show. Now, when he's in there with certain guys, like, I don't know, when he's in there with Nakamura, even that match with Jinder, I thought Jinder legit was going to pull it out, so that's what keeps it compelling. Like, the story and is what in WWE what keeps it compelling. Like, I think right now in WWE, it's a good time to get that, like I said earlier, that world heavyweight title. Unfortunately, Rollins had to get injured for it to move hands, and I think right now it's important for Joe to keep that belt, which is why it's dumb that they already are teasing like a triple threat so that Joe can like pin Hangman or something, or maybe they'll swerve everyone and Swerve will pin Hangman a 3rd time to get the world title. and then it'll be a Joe Swerve program. That could work, but it's yucky for Joe to have to be in a triple threat. And we knew Hook was going to lose. He didn't stand a chance, but that's why the booking of this match was good. So definitely shout out Samoa Joe for that. He did great, and both companies did great there for that. Honest to God, let's give both companies a round of applause. Because like WWE shows this week were like, it was more or less WWE this week was like pretty good, and then some really great shit was in there, and then AEW was like some really bad shit, and then just like some really great shit. It's great. So yeah, shout them out.